Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Once again, it's another video coming at you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Baal Shem, Yahushai Baal Shem Rakakwadash. All praises and glories definitely due, especially in these times. So hopefully this will be a quick video with a quick message for you brothers out there that are serious about this ministry. You know, this video has to do with character. Every now and then I like doing videos about character building. And what inspired me to do this video was the video you see here on screen by Elder Yashuanba, GMS Dallas. Excuse me. The name of the video is Take Heed, the Simplicity in the Messiah. And it's a pretty good video. A lot of good points dealing with humility. And that's the key in this thing of ours, for us to remain humble. There's a scripture where it says, the greater thou art, meaning the greater we become in this ministry, the more humble we should be, the more humble thyself. And I firmly believe in that. I myself, I believe I'm a work in progress. I know the power of humility. I understand it. And when you see individuals, the latest example, like this dude Al-Azhar, which we call him Alizé. He came in exalting himself, and I've over the years, we've been in this thing. Myself, beginning with Elder Apostle Todd and myself, Elder Apostle Ramlab, Elder Apostle Rakar. We've been in this thing, the elders of Connecticut. We've been in this thing many years, and we've seen guys like that. They come in, they're like the shooting star, only to crash and burn, And honestly, we're telling you brothers out there that are sincere, that's not the way you want to be, and that is the theme of this video here by, Elder Yashuanba. I just want to bring out a couple of scriptures. And the first scripture I'm going to bring out is the example where they wanted to make Yahushai a king because of the miracles that he did. And the attitude that Yahushai took to that, Now here it is, Yahushai indeed is King of Kings and Lord of Lords, but in this example, he ran away from that because he knew it wasn't time for him to be the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. He knew the mission that he had to do was to humble himself as a servant, to humble himself as a servant even to the death of the cross. Okay, let's get that real quick, and then we're going to go back to that scripture. That was the mission, the death of the cross. Okay. Here it is right here. This is in the book of Philippians, the 2nd chapter, and the 7th verse. It says, but made himself of no reputation. Now you got guys coming in this thing, they're trying to build this reputation, and the reputation that they're trying to build. Now it's all right to have a reputation, but if you coming in this thing to build a reputation based upon being puffed up, as it is written, knowledge puffeth up. If you come into this thing and trying to build a reputation based upon being puffed up, then the only road for you is straight down. Okay, the only path that you're going to end up in is the path of destruction. Okay, that is not what this is about. And I'm giving you the ultimate example, Yahushai. It says, but made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant. And that's a message to all of us. We are all servants of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So as a servant, we should be humble. We should have a certain pride about ourselves, and but not foolish pride. We should be balanced in our thinking. Not overly proud and pompous, We should be more humble, That's the form of a servant. So Yahushua is our ultimate example. He took upon him the form of a servant and was made in the likeness of men. And being found in fashion as a man, he humbleth or he humbled himself, see, and became obedient unto the death, even the death of the cross, which ultimately Yahushua was put on that cross. So he humbled himself and he became obedient. He didn't shirk his duty. You know, he knew what the mission was. And then because of that, when you read the next verse, it says, wherefore the Most High have highly exalted him and given him a name which is above every name. So in time, we will be highly exalted. But now is not the time for it. You got guys who come into this thing, they want to be highly exalted. You don't understand what you're involved in. Okay? Now, the 8th verse, it says, being found in fashion as a man, he humbleth himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. Now, the part there where it says he humbled himself, here's the example. Perfect example. John, the 6th chapter, and let's start the 12th verse. When they were filled, he said unto his disciples, gather up the fragments that remain. This is after Yahushua had just done this great miracle where he fed, I believe he fed about 5,000 people with 5 loaves, is it? And 2 fishes. Let me just make sure that's what it is. Here it is right here, the 9th verse, John 6 and 9. It says, there is a lad here which have 5 barley loaves and 2 small fishes. So it was 5 barley loaves and 2 small fishes. But what are they among so many? So Yahushua took those 5 barley loaves and 2 fishes and, pretty much used the spiritual power to multiply them and ended up feeding 5,000. Yeah, because when you read the 10th verse, it says, and Yahushua said, make the men sit down. Now there was much grass in the place, so the men sat down in number about 5,000. So that was 5,000 that he fed with 5 barley loaves and 2 small fishes. So no doubt that miracle made him great. That miracle, it was much talked about, made him famous. So he was getting the praise of a king. So check this out. Now, as you read on down to the 12th verse, when they were filled, he said unto his disciples, gather up the fragments that remain, that nothing be lost. Therefore they gathered them together and filled 12 baskets with fragments. Now, let me go to the point, 15th verse. When Yahushua therefore, now this is right after the miracle, right? When Yahushua therefore perceived that they would come and take him by force to make him a king. Why? Because he had just done this great miracle. But was it the time for him to be this king? No. Remember what Philippians said? He humbled himself even to the death of the cross. Remember that, right? It says, when Yahushua therefore perceived that they would come and take him by force to make him a king, he departed again into a mountain himself alone. So he didn't fall into that. He didn't get caught up into the glory of the miracle that he just did. He didn't have the attitude, yes, they should come and make me a king because I am a king. Which indeed he is a king, but it wasn't time for that. There's a scripture where it says, a wise man shall observe time. So this is a moral or lesson to us brothers. We're not in the time of glorifying ourselves and exalting ourselves, brothers. We'll get the glorification and the exaltation from Yahushua when he places that crown on our heads, and that's going to be in the kingdom. Now ain't the time for it. So you see all these guys coming into this thing, and because they can speak good and they got knowledge, as it is said, knowledge puffeth up. They want to exalt themselves. They don't understand what they're involved in. And eventually, let me go to the next scripture. Eventually, they're going to destroy themselves. That is a surefire way. Coming into this thing and exalting yourself, that is a surefire way to destroy yourself. And I've seen it happen so many times. Okay, this is the book of Sirach, the 1st chapter, also known as Ecclesiasticus. It says, the 29th verse, be not an hypocrite in the sight of men, What's another word for a hypocrite? An actor. Okay? Be not an hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what thou speakest. Absolutely. Matthew 12:36 says, we shall be, every idle word that we speak, we shall be judged. Remember that. Now, the 30th verse, it says, exalt not thyself, lest thou fall and bring dishonor upon thy soul. So we got to heed to those words. Okay, exalt not thyself. And when you feel you're being exalted, now's the time to draw back, like Yahweh Shai drawed back. You know, he didn't allow them to come and make him a king. He drew back. The scriptures say he went into the mountains by himself. You know, exalt not thyself, lest thou fall and bring dishonor upon thy soul. And so the Most High discover thy secrets and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation. A beautiful example of that, as of late, was Al-Azhar. Right in the midst of the congregation, he was torn down. He was torn to pieces. Okay? When what he should have really did was just apologize, make a short video, no more than 5 minutes long, quickly apologize, ask for forgiveness in the sight of Yahweh Shem Yahushua and the congregation for being such a poor example, you know, dealing with the solemnity of the Passover. That's all he had to do. That video shouldn't have lasted more than 5 minutes long, and call it a day. Did he do that? Phone at the chime on that one. Did he do that? Nope. He sure didn't. So exalt not that. Let that be a cautionary tale to us brothers out there. You brothers out there. Exalt not thyself, lest thou fall and bring dishonor upon thy soul. And so the scriptures don't lie, man. And so the Most High discovered thy secrets and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation, because thou camest not in truth to the fear of the Lord, but thy heart is full of deceit. Oh, that's powerful. So, you know, there's certain things in this ministry that does not go out of style. You know, integrity, honesty, humility, those never go out of style, brothers. Let me say it again. Integrity, honesty, humility, you know, being sincerity, you know, those are the things that we should shoot for in this gospel and try to attain them by any means necessary. You know, that's what makes us prosper spiritually in this thing of ours. Integrity, honesty, humility, sincerity, character, building character. Those never go out of style, brothers. All right, so basically that's it. That's all I got to say. I hope through the Spirit that was edifying to you, brothers, and hopefully added to you spirit and enhance you spiritually in this ministry, in this thing of ours. And it's on to the next video.